In this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's like to live in East Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we're getting after it right now. Hey, what's up everybody? This is your good buddy Jimmy Kegle right here in the Grand Rapids Metro. If this is your first time to my channel, I do so many videos about what it's like to eat, live, and play right here in the Grand Rapids Metro. If you haven't subscribed yet, start now by hitting that subscribe button and then tapping that bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. And honestly, I'm helping so many people from around the world relocate here, buy and sell here in the Grand Rapids Metro, and I absolutely love it. If you're thinking about moving or relocating here, you have to give us a call, shoot me an email, a text, even set up a smoke signal. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when you're moving to Grand Rapids Metro. Yeah, so I thought I'd start by showing you the football field because sports are a huge part of East Grand Rapids. They just got voted the #1 sports school in the state of Michigan for like the 3rd year in a row. So they combine all the sports and whoever's the best, we're #1. On top of that, and I'll get into that a little bit later, they're also usually #1 or #2 for academics. So it's a pretty cool place. But right now, if you can look out, look at that football field. Now, they've always had a synthetic field for like 20 years. Nowadays, everybody's got one. But what everyone doesn't have is look at that view. So when you're watching a football game, you also get to see a lake, and that's pretty cool. It's a pretty awesome view. Just in 2019, East Grand Rapids won state championships in girls lacrosse, girls cross country, and girls swim. Boys took second in lacrosse. They won state championships last year, and the boys were all set to win the state championship in swim this year. They have a great swim team, and their bus was on its way down to the state championships, and they canceled it because of the COVID. That was right when it happened, but they were a lock to win it. So that's just in 1 year. And amazingly enough, just in total state championships, East Grand Rapids has 125 state titles, which is pretty amazing. So I think that shows how amazing the sports are at East Grand Rapids. You know, they also have so many different sports here. I mean, you've got football, basketball, lacrosse, field hockey. They have a great swim team, a great dive team. They have more state championships. I mean, it's unbelievable in swim, but their sports are amazing. One of the coolest things I think about sports for East Grand Rapids is the fact they start them so young and they really hone their skills. And that's where I brought my son in to talk a little bit about East Grand Rapids, and you'll hear what he has to say about it. So I want to, give you a good idea of how sports are. This is my son Carter. He's lived in East Grand Rapids his whole life, so I thought he could give you a good representation of what it's like here. So Carter, what are some of your favorite things about living in East Grand Rapids?
I really like having the lake because there are a lot of people with boats on the lake. That's really fun to go like tubing and all that stuff. And it's really nice to have like Gaslight, kind of like a hangout place, and there's a lot of really good restaurants and stuff like that.
What's Gaslight? Can you explain that?
It's like a little like town where like a lot of like restaurants, a place to eat, and like Starbucks and stuff like that kind of.
Okay, nice. It's the downtown part of East Grand Rapids.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. What about the schools? How do you like the schools? What grade are you in now?
I'm going to be a freshman.
You're gonna be a freshman. Okay. So what'd you like about the first 8 years?
I really like all the teachers were really nice, and like the school district's been really nice, and the sports teams have been really good. We've done very good in sports, which has been really fun.
When you say like the school system's been nice, what you mean? That it's just you think you've got a good education?
Yeah,
or?
I think I've got a very good education. A lot of like the surveys about the school have been really good, like how we rate compared to other school districts, but we've been doing very good at that, which is very cool.
Okay, awesome. And then what would you say about the sports and how well they train you from a young age?
Yeah, a lot of the sports start really young, which is a little different from other school districts, but I think it really helps because later on, a lot of people are way more like developed in the sports than other school districts, which has really helped us like win a ton of state titles and stuff like that.
Exactly. Very cool. Very cool. So Carter, if someone's moving here, what are some of the just quick things you want them to know about why they should move to East Grand Rapids, Michigan?
I think especially if they have a kid, just to like really understand how nice of a district East is, and just how like safe it is. Has been really nice, and just how cool having like a lake right in the backyard is very cool. And if you're into boating at all, you can totally have your boat here and you can just go whenever you want.
And how about the East School? Isn't there part of the classes you can actually see the water?
Yeah, the school, right, you can kind of see it. It's right back there. That's the middle school. And like half the classrooms, you can see the lake right from the room, which is very cool.
Okay, awesome. I want to say in transparency, I mean, obviously I have my son's on here. He lives in East Grand Rapids. I do too. So I'm obviously a little biased about East Grand Rapids as I live here, but I'm trying to be as fair as I can. But I just want to preface it with that, just so I'm being fair to everybody. Go East. Also academically, as I mentioned earlier, it's an amazing school. I call it more like a private school. Is really how it is, but it's even better than most of the private schools around the area. Academics are huge here. The teachers have got great one-on-one with like my daughter. I've talked to my daughter several times. She said if you need any help in anything, the teachers will stay as late as you have to and give you one-on-one attention, which is pretty remarkable. I'll be quite honest, it should be an amazing school system for the taxes you pay. You pay, almost double the taxes of Grand Rapids to be in East Grand Rapids. But most people consider it like you're sending their kids to an elite private school, and so it's worth it because that's how amazing the school is and the academics and just how the school is run and how they take care of the kids. So yeah, the Reeds Lake Trail is 4.2 miles and it's an awesome run that goes all the way around the Reeds Lake, which is a lake you saw from the football stadium. That's the one main lake there in the city, and it's really cool. It's right in the middle of the city. Getting back to Pleasantville, there's always people running around the lake. So a lot of the people from Reeds Lake run it, but you also get people that come into East Grand Rapids just to run it because it's so pretty and safe and nice for people. And it's really amazing, so it's always busy. So it doesn't matter what time of day or what day of the week, you always see people running around this path and biking. So it's pretty cool. It makes you kind of more motivated to have exercise. And as you can see, the bike path's made up of, some of it's just on the road, but a lot of it is asphalt paths that are specifically for the run around the lake. And then there's some wood, and then it just goes all around the lake. It's really obvious to follow, and it'll tell you all right around it. And then what's neat is, and then when you get to certain sections, you can kind of go off road, and they have trails back in there. So like I'm a big mountain biker. I love to go mountain biking, so is my son. So we'll go down there. Talk about a good workout. That's about a mile around a couple of these, and you do 3 to 4 of those, and it's pretty intense. You get a great workout in. So they have that as well. So it's really big for outdoor, just being outdoors, biking, walking. We're using the one wheels. Kids are there. And another thing, the community is all about pedestrians and people on bikes. So if you're in a car, you're second fiddle to someone on a bike and or someone walking or running, and especially if it's kids. That's one of the cool things about East. You see people at a crosswalk, everybody stops, you let the kids go by, then you continue to go. And if you speed at all, you're not going to be happy because you're going to get in trouble, which it should be. There's just too many kids around there. It's all about family. And that's what I think is really cool about it. The Reeds Lake, it's not a huge lake, but it's a nice lake. It's an all sport lake, so you can have fun there. There's a little yacht club that will teach kids how to sail sailboats and things like that. So that's pretty cool. And then obviously it's just a beautiful lake to look at. And then the homes around that, speaking of real estate, are very expensive. Most of the homes around Reeds Lake are that land is more expensive than land by Lake Michigan, which is just crazy to me. We just set a record. We just had a house on Reeds Lake sell for $9 million, to give you an idea. That's not most of the houses. That's on Reeds Lake. So anyways, that's Reeds Lake. That's a huge part of the community. People love it. There's also Rose's Restaurant, which is a really cool restaurant. It's been there forever, and that's right on Reeds Lake. So you can sit in the patio when you're overlooking the lake. It's beautiful. They have great food. If you ever go there, order the root chips, and they're amazing. Tell them Jimmy sent you, because they're awesome. I've had more than my share of it. But that's a great place to eat. Then you can go downtown. It's not a huge downtown, but it's called Gaslight because all the lights are lit up by gas, so it's pretty cool. And there's shopping, other restaurants. There's a hot dog place. There's an ice cream shop that's been around forever. There's a new steak place that just opened up, and there's an oyster. So there's just a good eclectic group of different shops and nice restaurants, and it's just a really fun place to go hang out. So, and there's also a really nice Starbucks right there, and tons of people go down there. It's always really busy in there to get a seat because it's very popular, but it's a cool little hangout for everybody. And then there's also businesses down there and whatnot too. Like I mentioned, there's the oyster place, Caroline's Kitchen, a really cool restaurant. It's called Olives. It was always really small and quaint. Nice little bar, really good drinks, strong. They're not cheap, but they're very good. They make them right. Really good food, and they made it even bigger. Now they have a big outdoor porch, but just great food. And they got Big Bob's, which is one of my favorites because it's really casual. They got a great selection of craft beers. Just a great selection. The food's awesome. They got awesome pizza, great sandwiches, the really hot grinders, or the grinders where like you get like a turkey one, it's got gobs of cheese on it, and they bake it. Just really good stuff. And what's cool is like after all like the Little League, football and baseball and basketball games, tons of people will go there, meet up. They've always got free popcorn for the kids to keep them busy, and the adults, so they have a couple more beers with that thirst. But Big Bob's is a really cool place. They call it like the Cheers of East Grand Rapids because everybody knows you, and it's just a really relaxed place. They got a nice little outdoor seating too. So Big Bob's. That's another place you could say Jimmy sent you and know who I am. So I guess I shouldn't act like I know where every place you can get beer and food is, but I feel pretty comfortable about it. Again, one of the cool things about East is it's a smaller community. It's kind of insulated, and you always see people down there. So you can pop down there, just walk down there for a couple drinks or a nice meet some buddies, or you can go with your family, have a great dinner, and do that as well. So it's just great. And there's other more casual restaurants not that far away, but that's the main downtown. There's a lot of great parks in East Grand Rapids too, where like Manhattan Park, where there's tons for the kids to play. And there's a lot of sporting events going on there, volleyball, football, baseball, basketball, not basketball, but every other kind of sport. And then obviously just great recreation for the kids. And then right next to Roses, there's called John Collins Park, and that's a great park. There's always people in there. It's right by the water. As you can see, it's got a great view of the lake, and there's always people down there. Some sunbathing, some people put which I find really weird, but people do it quite a bit, especially in East. The hammock, you just tap a hammock randomly. And people love that. You'll see people go down there, just lay out and get some sun, or a lot of business people will meet down there and have lunch. I take my kids there quite often. We'll go get some takeout and just go sit down there and sit at one of the benches and have a nice lunch. That's pretty awesome. And they also do cool events there too, like during the summers. Obviously, when it's not COVID season, pre-COVID, they have a huge blow-up movie screen, and then all the kids come. They have a movie, and then they have ice cream trucks and food trucks come. It's just really cool. Again, all about family. Super safe. It's just a great place. There's a few major price points in East Grand Rapids. The lowest, what we call kind of starter homes, if you can tell, these are smaller, but they're nice homes, well kept. And these are going to start as low as $230 and probably go up to about $265, $275. And that's about as low as you get in East Grand Rapids. This next street that we're looking at is what I would call a very typical street in East Grand Rapids. Really nice homes. Some are really old, some are a little bit newer, but most of them are updated. And the price ranges are from probably $450 on the low side up to $750 and up. You're going to see a lot of that in this price point. Most of those are 3 and 4 and 5 bedrooms. Nice, really nice homes, nice kitchens, nice updates. As a former builder, I get and I understand, but it's kind of a bummer that any homes that aren't super expensive and big, and if they're on a decent lot, they're being bought by builders and being torn down. And so when you look at this street right here, most of these homes were small homes, and then they've been torn down. Even though the lot's not big, they just built a really nice home that's very high-end inside. So even though they're not very big, those homes are all minimum $550,000 to $750,000. They're all brand new, custom, very nice. But you're getting a lot of that here, unfortunately. So a lot of times it's hard to find homes price point, $200,000 or below, because if there's anything available like that, it gets bought and repurposed as a new house. So, I guess I know it's progress, and I get that it happens. It just feels like eventually we're gonna have no homes under $300,000, and that would be too bad. So this street right here is one of the higher end neighborhoods, and there's several like this in East Grand Rapids. These homes are all custom. Some of them have been torn down and built brand new, or they're really large homes that have just been completely customized inside and updated. And these homes start at $750 all the way up to $1+ millions of dollars. And there's many of those too, but they're really nice homes. So that should give you a pretty good idea of what it's like to live in East Grand Rapids, Michigan. So if you have any questions, give me a comment and I'll answer it as soon as I can. And if you're even thinking about moving here, relocating, or just have questions about living in East Grand Rapids or any other city around Grand Rapids Metro, Rockford, Caledonia, Kentwood, Granville, you name it, Hudsonville, anywhere else, I'm happy to answer those questions for you. Give me a call, reach out to that number, give me a text, email, even set up that smoke signal. Whatever you have to do when you're moving to Grand Rapids Metro, I've got your back and I'm here to help. Thanks.